In the history of the heavyweight division, two names stand alone as the ultimate icons of fear. On one side, Sonny Liston, the Big Bear, a man with fists like cinder blocks and a stare that could freeze time. On the other, Iron Mike Tyson, the youngest heavyweight champion in history, a whirlwind of controlled violence and blinding speed. Two eras of terror are about to collide. When the most intimidating men to ever step into the same ring, who blinks first? Is it Liston's indestructible jab or Tyson's explosive fury? This isn't just a fight, it's a battle for the throne of nightmare. The simulation starts now. Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson didn't just come from the streets of Brownsville, Brooklyn. He was forged by them. By the age of 13, he had been arrested 38 times. He was a child lost to the system until he met a man named Cus D'Amato. Cus didn't just teach Mike to box, he taught him to use fear as a weapon. Under the peekaboo style, Tyson became a defensive ghost and an offensive juggernaut. He was the youngest man ever to wear the heavyweight crown, a 218-pound wrecking ball that dismantled the division in the late 1980s. Tyson wasn't just hitting people, he was walking through them. His power was revolutionary, but his speed was the real miracle. He proved that you didn't have to be a giant to rule the world. You just had to be the most dangerous man in the room. Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston's life was a shadow cast across the American dream. Born as one of 24 children in a sharecropping family in Arkansas, Sonny's childhood was marked by the whip and the hunger. He found boxing in the Missouri State Penitentiary, where the prison chaplain realized that Sonny wasn't just a criminal, he was a natural force of nature. Liston had the most massive hands in boxing history, 15 inches in circumference and a reach that spanned 84 inches. In the early 1960s, he was the mob-backed monster that the world was terrified of. He destroyed Floyd Patterson in a single round to take the title, a feat so dominant it left the boxing world in shock. Liston was the original bad man, a stoic, silent powerhouse who believed that if he didn't kill you with his jab, he would break your spirit with his eyes. He lived in a world where he was the hunter and every opponent was merely prey. What legends say. The boxing world has debated this mean versus meaner matchup for decades. Joe Rogan. You're talking about the two most terrifying human beings to ever step into a square circle, period. Liston had a jab that felt like a telephone pole hitting you in the face. It wasn't a setup punch, it was a power punch. But Tyson was a glitch in the matrix. The head movement, the bob and weave, and then that upward hook, it's lightning hitting you from the ground up. If Liston can't keep him at the end of that jab, he's in for a nightmare he can't wake up from. George Foreman. I watched Liston. I feared Liston. He was the only man who could make a great fighter feel like a little boy. He had heavy power, the kind that hurts your bones. But Mike Tyson brought a type of speed the heavyweight division had never seen. Sonny was used to people being afraid of him. Mike wouldn't be afraid. It would be two bullies meeting in the middle of the playground, and usually the faster bully wins. Muhammad Ali. Sonny was a big, ugly bear. He was slow and he was mean, but I showed the world he could be beat. Now Mike is a different kind of animal. He's fast, he's hungry, and he's smart. Sonny would try to bully Mike, but Mike would slip under that big jab and catch him with something Sonny never saw coming. You can't hit what you can't catch, and Sonny wouldn't catch the Dragon of Brooklyn. How did Mike Tyson prepare for a fight? Mike Tyson's preparation was a descent into psychological warfare and physical extremity. He would wake up at 4 a.m. for a 3-mile run, followed by 2,000 squats, 500 push-ups, and 500 shrugs with a 70-pound barbell. But the physical work was only half the battle. Tyson spent hours in a darkened room with Cus D'Amato, listening to tapes of old-time fighters, hypnotizing himself into the mindset of a conqueror. To prepare for a man like Liston, Mike would focus on the slip and counter. He would spend thousands of rounds on the heavy bag, working on getting his head off the center line to avoid Liston's legendary jab. He would visualize the big bear towering over him and train his mind to see the opening beneath Liston's long arms. For Tyson, training wasn't about winning a sport, it was about preparing to destroy a demon. How did Sonny Liston prepare for a fight? Sonny Liston's training was as old school and rugged as his life. He didn't use high-tech equipment, he used iron and grit. He would spend hours skipping rope to jazz music, a giant man moving with surprising grace. He would chop wood and pound heavy bags that would tear off the ceiling mounts of most gyms. His strength was man strength, the kind built from decades of hard labor and prison walls. To face Tyson, Liston would focus on the stiff jab. He knew that if he let the smaller man get inside, the fight would turn into a brawl he might not win. He would drill his left hand until it was like a piston, aiming to snap Tyson's head back every time Mike tried to lunge. He would harden his midsection to absorb Tyson's legendary body shots. Mental preparation for Sonny was simple. He would stare at his reflection until he saw the monster the world feared, and then he would prepare to unleash it. Analysis. This is the ultimate analysis of reach versus reflex. Sonny Liston owns an incredible 13-inch reach advantage over Mike Tyson. In boxing terms, that is an ocean. Liston's strategy is simple. Control the distance with the jab, use his massive strength to lean on Tyson in the clinches, and wear the smaller man down with heavy, thudding shots. Sonny's chin is legendary. He can take a punch like a stone wall. But Mike Tyson is the master of closing the distance. He doesn't just walk in, he explodes in. Using his peekaboo head movement, Mike would make Liston's jab miss by fractions of an inch. Once inside, Tyson is the most dangerous short-range puncher in history. His hooks and uppercuts are faster than Liston's reflexes can track. The mental aspect is the wild card. Both men relied on their opponents being terrified before the first bell. But here, the intimidation factor is neutralized. Neither man is going to back down. It becomes a question of who can adapt. Can Liston's old-school durability withstand the 21st century speed of Iron Mike? Arena and fighting rules. The fight takes place in a neutral, classic setting, the Las Vegas Convention Center 1960s style. The ring is smaller, 20 feet by 20 feet, favoring the infighter. The lighting is smoky and harsh, with a single overhead lamp reflecting off the sweat of the combatants. The rules: 12 rounds of championship boxing, 8-ounce gloves, the puncher's choice. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect, a neutral referee who lets them work in the clinches. This is a battle of eras, where the grit of the 60s meets the explosion of the 80s. The bell rings and the atmosphere in the arena is suffocating. Sonny Liston steps out, his arms looking like iron bars, his face a mask of stone. Mike Tyson is a blur of kinetic energy, bobbing and weaving before the first punch is even thrown. Liston fires the jab, snap. It's as fast and heavy as a gunshot. It grazes Tyson's forehead. Mike doesn't back up. He slips the second jab and lunges with a left hook to the body. Liston feels the air leave his lungs. He grabs Tyson, using his 215-pound frame to smother the smaller man. The referee breaks them. Round 2. Tyson is getting braver. He's moving his head like a pendulum. Liston tries a massive right cross, but Tyson is already gone. Mike counters with a 3-punch combination. Body, body, head. Liston's head snaps back, but he doesn't go down. He fires a short hook that catches Tyson on the temple. Mike stumbles for the first time. The big bear has found his range. By round 5, it's a war of attrition. Liston's jab has turned Tyson's right eye into a swollen mess. Mike is breathing hard, but his speed hasn't dipped. He realizes he can't outbox the jab, he has to go through it. The turning point comes in round 7. Liston, feeling the fatigue of the pace, throws a lazy jab. Tyson sees it. He slips outside, pivots, and unloads a right hook to the ribs that sounds like a baseball bat hitting a side of beef. Liston's guard drops for a fraction of a second. Tyson doesn't hesitate. He launches the coup de mato special, a right hook to the body followed immediately by a right uppercut. Liston's head is jerked upward, his legs turn to jelly. He hits the canvas with a thud that shakes the ring. The world is in shock. Liston, the man who was never supposed to be knocked down, is on the floor. He gets up at the count of 8, his eyes glassy, but his heart is still in the fight. Tyson senses the end. He moves in with a flurry of peekaboo strikes. Liston tries to hold, but Tyson is too fast. A final explosive left hook catches Liston on the jaw. The big bear falls again, and this time he isn't getting up. The referee reaches 10. It's over. The victor stands in the center of the ring, his hands raised, but there is no celebratory dance. He walks over to Liston's corner as the elder statesman of terror is helped to his stool. Mike bows his head in a rare show of humility. In this simulation, Mike Tyson emerges as the winner. While Sonny Liston's reach and jab were formidable, they were ultimately overcome by Tyson's superior footwork and blinding speed. Liston was built to fight men who were afraid of him, but Tyson was built to dismantle legends. The Iron Era has conquered the Big Bear Era through the evolution of combat science. The winner, Mike Tyson. It's your turn. The youngest champion has taken down the original monster. But what do you think? Could Sonny Liston's heavy power have eventually broken Tyson's spirit if the fight went into the late rounds? Is reach the ultimate weapon, or is speed the king of the ring? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one. If you enjoyed this clash of heavyweight eras, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. It helps us keep the arena open. And get ready, because next time we're moving from the boxing ring to one of the most infamous and controversial grudges in martial arts history. It's the Hollywood Aikido master against the legendary godfather of grappling, Steven Seagal versus Gene LeBell. Did the legendary chokeout really happen? We're going to find out. The choice is yours. Stay legendary.